Hi, my name is Kandace Thompson. When I was born beautiful, healthy, and strong. All fingers, all toes accounted for, and the doctor gave me newborn tests that I passed successfully. That was a huge relief for my parents because we already had one disability in the family, my big brother. He was born without a hip socket, and his femur was 1.5 inches long, short. We did not discover my disability until kindergarten with Mrs. McDougall. She was my kindergarten teacher, and she was very kind and patient, and she would get to know her kids that she had to teach. Well, after getting to know me, she noticed some irregularities and immediately informed my parents that I needed to be tested on a few things and suggested that I also be tested for my hearing. That is when we discovered that I was deaf in my right ear. The audiologist explained to my parents that I was so deaf in my right ear that there was no hearing aid on the market that could help my ear. And even if there was, it would have to be turned up so loud it would ruin my left ear. At the age of 7, the audiologist predicted that I would lose my hearing by the time I was 21. I would be completely deaf and that they should accept that and face it. I'm 35 years old. I can still hear in my left ear, and I have no hearing aids. My disability was not a crutch. That is what my parents taught me. It was not something to use as an excuse when I failed in life. It was not something that I could always lean on as a crutch. Instead, they taught me that my disability was a challenge that I could overcome in life situations. When you think about a person that is deaf, you think, oh, they've lost their hearing, and that's the end of the thought. But when a person is deaf, they're actually lacking something. They're actually lacking hearing words correctly. As a young child, I was always accused of talking like a baby. I was always accused of mumbling on purpose. But once I was diagnosed, my parents came to realize that not only was my deafness a problem, but my speech as well. My parents were determined to help me with the speech, as well as the many staff members at school. My mom in particular would help me with how I would speak. I remember one day when I was little, we were trying to make a list for candies that we wanted to eat for movie night. I wanted M&Ms. That was my favorite candy. And I tried to tell my mom multiple times, but because of my speech, I couldn't say it clearly. Mom, like she always did when I pronounced a word wrong, would laugh a little. Then she would have me look at her lips, pointing, and say the word exaggerately. In fact, so dramatically that an onlooker would think that she was talking to me in frustration and sarcasm to an idiot. But she told me to look at my lips, M, N, M's. And that way I could pronounce the word correctly. She would have me practice until I got it right. And even to this day, I still have people, including my mom, help me pronounce words when I have a hard time by doing exactly what she did. I am married to a wonderful man, and you should have seen his face when I proposed to him. I said, after 3 months of hard work and practice, I now know how to make mac and cheese in the microwave. I make a mean peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And of course, you know I'm deaf, which means that our children might be deaf or some other disability. And you also know that because I'm deaf, it's not going to get any better. In fact, there's going to be hard times in the future because of my deafness. Will you marry me? You should have seen my face when I said, I'll think about it. 5 short months later, we were married, and we have 3 beautiful children that are not deaf and have no disabilities. However, I was right, and he tells me a lot that I was right when I warned him. In fact, one time, we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and he was in the bedroom on one end of the apartment, and I was in the kitchen in the other, very opposite sides. He was calling to me to ask me a question, but I couldn't hear him or understand him. All I could hear was his voice, and I told him so. Honey, all I can hear is your voice. I don't hear any words. Try again. I know I can get it. He tried so many times that on the 5th time, he got so frustrated, he stomped into the kitchen and yelled, "What, are you deaf?" As our eyes met, we both burst into laughter as I replied, "As a matter of fact, I am." I'm coming to Weber State University to get my second degree. I've already achieved my first degree, put hubby through college. My second degree choice is registered nurse. I am fascinated with the medical field and would like to further my education in the medical field to help people. Thank you. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Okay, first, second.